Hi guys, so in today's video I will be creating 3 looks. I will be creating the 3 looks 1 palette with the Norvina palette, as you may be able to tell by the thumbnail and the title of this video. But anyway, so yeah, this is what this video is going to be about. This look that right here is actually like one of the most non-wearable ones that I did, because the other 2 that I did are very simple, using most of these just like the neutral ones from this palette. So yeah, pretty easy 3 looks 1 palette. And then also at the end of this video I will be sharing my opinions about the palette and whether I think it's worth it or not. So yeah, if you're interested to see how I achieve these 3 makeup looks using this palette, then make sure you keep on watching. Okay, so I then went ahead and primed my lids very quickly with this Colourpop concealer just to save a little bit of time. This is a quick overview of what the palette looks like. And then the first shade that I'm taking is called Incense. I will point to it because I'm pointing to Volatile, but yeah, that one, that's the one I'm using. And I'm just taking this as a transition shade. I did think this was a little too deep for a transition shade. This would be very nice for like deeper skin tones, like transition shades, but for like lighter skin tone, like this is a transition, you do need a very light hand. The next shade that I'm taking is called Eccentric. It's this very deep mustard shade, and I'm just dusting this above kind of and below Incense. And then after that I'm gonna take the shade Love to blend those 2 out, just because I wanted a little bit of pink in this makeup look. The last shade that I'm gonna be taking is called Passion. It is the deepest shade in this palette, or one of the deepest ones. And you see, like, this also seems like a transition shade for deeper skin tones, but I mean, they could have easily put like a darker brown in this palette just to smoke out the looks. This still works, but I don't think this would work on deeper skin tones. The last shade I'm going to go with is called Drama, and I'm just going to be placing this all over my lid just to further smoke out this look. And you see, Drama and Passion do make a pretty deep shade, but I just feel like a deep brown shade would have worked better. Then I'm just taking a clean fluffy brush and I'm just blending those 2 together. Then I'm taking the shade Dazzling, and I'm just very lightly tapping this into my eye because I just want this to barely even show up. Like, as I'm moving my face, I want it to reflect. I'm gonna finish the rest of my face and then I'll be back to finish the rest of the eyes. Then I'm just taking Incense on my lower lash line and just very much smoking this out because I want this shade to really show up and help me blend the other ones. So then I'm taking Passion very precisely into my lower lash line. And then the last shade that I'm taking is Drama, just so I can have like a very deep shade, since this is the deepest shade in the palette, just so it could look very smoky. As you can see, like, Passion just adds that smokiness that I need for this look. Then I'm taking the shade Base and I'm putting this into my brow bone, just so I can, of course, highlight the brow bone, because we need to, of course. And I'm also going to be highlighting my inner corners, but I just want to build up this base color first. And then also, once I place that highlight, I just grabbed any blending brush that I was using just to blend that highlight shade and the other colors. And then I'm just also highlighting my inner corner with that base shade. I'm then just lining my lips with a nude NYX eyeliner, and then I'm taking this Honeymoon NYX liquid, I'm sorry, not liquid lipstick, it's just a lipstick, and that's what it looks like. You can just leave it like this, nude, but I just really wanted to go in with a gloss, so that's what I'm going to do. This is Aquarius, the collaboration with Kathleen Lights with Colourpop. And yeah, this completes this makeup look. It's just very neutral, I know, but I just wanted to show people that you don't necessarily have to go with those crazy colors in the palette, because I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. But if you do decide to pick this up, you can still achieve a neutral makeup look. Alright, so then now for this next makeup look, I decided to do a cut crease, a more glam makeup look, and I'm dipping more into the pinks and the golds in this palette. So then I'm just priming my lids again with the Colourpop concealer, and the first shade that I'm taking is Love, and I'm just dusting this all over my lid. The technique that I'm using, I'm just not setting my lid, but I'm just patting on this Love shade just so it could be more pigmented, and then I'm further blending it out and just building it up as you please. You can do it. And then I'm just taking the shade Eccentric just because I want this this look to have some warmth, so Eccentric is gonna do that for you. So yeah, I'm just blending those two together, and I'm not blending Eccentric past my crease. Then I'm taking the shade Passion so I can further blend those two together. This maroon shade is so pretty and so pigmented. I really like it. I just wish there was another deeper shade other than just Passion. You know what I mean? But anyway, then with a more precise brush, I'm just taking that shade Volatile. It's just this very brown, cool-toned shade, and I'm just gonna do this very precise line with this precise brush because that's where I'm gonna cut the crease, and I want that to very much show up, you know? So then I'm just taking back that blending brush that I used with Passion, and I'm adding just a tiny bit of Passion just to blend those out. And yeah, I'm just going back and forth just until I feel like it's safe. I mean, safe enough for me to say it's blended, you know? Then I'm just going back with that fluffy blending brush that I used with Love, and I'm just going to be dusting this all over my lids, making sure everything is blended. Then of course I'm just cutting the crease. I'm going to go ahead and take this rose gold shade, and I'm going to be putting this in the middle of my eye, not all the way, because the next shade that I'm using is called Wild Child, and that's going to be on that's going to go in my very inner corner. So yeah, and then I'm going to be doing the same for the other eye. Also, I don't think I showed, but I'm also taking the shade Passion to smoke out the outer corners of my eye. And then so yeah, it's like three colors. It's Passion, then Rose Gold, and then at the very inner corner is Wild Child. So yeah, you can see I'm blending Passion, then Rose Gold, then Wild Child. And then I'll be back to finish the rest of the eyes. So my makeup is done. I guess I decided to line my lips because I thought I was almost done with this look. So then I'm just taking this shade, and I'm also using this Anastasia lip gloss on top. This is in the shade Estella, and it came out with the Norvina palette as well. So then after I remember I wasn't done, I decided to take the shade Passion and just very much smoke this into my eye because I wanted this look to be very smoky. And then I took the shade Dreamer and put that in as my highlight, my brow bone. Then I'm also taking that for my inner corners. And that is the completed makeup look. Very smoky, very pretty, very sultry. I just love these pink tones. The next makeup look is a halo eye, of course, because they are my favorite. You could definitely do like a cut crease if you want to, but I just kind of wanted to blend it out and make it look more soft. So the first the first shade that I'm taking is called Incense, and I'm just blending this, putting this on my crease and making sure this is really blended because it is very pigmented, so it does seem very deep. But yeah, you just have to work with it and try not to pack on as much so the other shade that we're putting down can still be see-through. And then I'm taking the shade Soul, which is a beautiful lavender purpley shade, and I'm really gonna try to build this up as much as I can. So just blend and build up. Then after that, I'm gonna go in with the first brush that I used just to soften up the edges. And then after that, I'm going to go in with a more precise brush to ensure that the shade Soul is really packed on the crease, because that's where I want it to like pop the most. As you can see, when you build it up, it just really brightens up the look. Then I'm just going to be kind of cutting the crease, but it doesn't matter if you're not too precise. I just wanted to cut it to make the space for the other shade that I'm using. So then after that, I'm just blending out the edges of Soul. As you can see, I'm using the Anastasia brush. And then I'm going to go in with Summer, the shade Summer. I'm going to put that in the middle. And yeah, just how all Halo Eyes go, you just put the shade and then you grab Soul again and then you just blend out the edges. So that's what I'm doing right here. And then I'm gonna go in with Celestial. Okay, and I'm putting this on the very edges of my eye just to make it even softer, a softer transition. Then I'm just gonna smoke out Soul at the bottom, and then that's pretty much it for this makeup look. Also, I put a little bit of Love underneath Soul, and then for my inner corner and my brow bone highlight, I just grabbed Dreamer again. And that is it for this makeup look. Super easy. I know it's kind of unwearable, but it's very easy to achieve. Looks creating this palette. So that was, oh god. So that was, oh god. Yep, I just did that. My goodness. So yeah, those were all 3 looks that I created with this palette, and I have to say that I'm still kind of like about this palette. You know, I just hate the fact, because I have 4 of the 5 Anastasia palettes that have been released, apart from like the Mario one, the collaboration, so I think that would be 6 palettes. But ever since Modern Renaissance, I want to say, I have 4 from the Anastasia palettes. I have the Soft Glam palette, which I did a 3-look palette. I will link it down below just in case you're interested, just in case you actually picked up that palette instead of this palette. I have one with the Prism palette, which I actually do like. I know a lot of people don't like the Prism palette, but I just think it's like a fun palette, and it has like a lot of pop of colors, so that's why I like it. And then I've never done a video with the Modern Renaissance, but I do have the Modern Renaissance. I do have a video with the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. However, it is a dupe video just in case you're interested, but I will leave it down below. Just needed to pause and check myself, of course. It's not my cup of tea. I don't typically go for warms. I'm more of a cool tone kind of gal. So when I saw that this was coming out, I was very excited. But now that I have it and I used these colors, I have some thoughts. So in my opinion, I feel like these colors right here, even though they're kind of light enough to be transition shades, I don't think they're light enough to be transition shades. Like maybe on deeper skin tones, sure, these are very These do definitely work as transition shades. I'm not completely sure, but I would say, because to me these were kind of dark for transition shades. I know this looks like a beautiful brown transition shade, but in my opinion it was very, very dark. I need something lighter, or maybe perhaps that color but not as pigmented. That's just my opinion. I feel like instead of all these shimmery shades, because I feel like Summer and Dazzling are the exact same color. I mean, it's kind of chunky too. Can you guys see it there? I don't know. I just don't know where this went wrong. I feel like we could have had other mattes in the palette that would have been very, very, very beautiful with these shimmery shades. I feel like that's the problem. I feel like we just needed another transition shade, and we needed more of like, instead of this one over here, I feel like we needed like a mauve-ish color that would have been and would have looked amazing with all these other shimmery shades, in my personal and humble opinion. But that's all I have to say. Do I think it's worth it? I honestly picked up this Anastasia palette just because it's more of like a collection to me now. Like, it's just more like, oh, I want to have like the palettes that Anastasia releases now. Are they good? Like, that's, and I know that sounds bad, you know, but like to me that's just like a cool like thing to have in your makeup collection. But if you're actually someone that just strictly picks up makeup just because you're actually gonna get 100% like usage out of it, then I don't really think this is worth the money, in my opinion. But if you're someone who, like, you know, doesn't really have shades like these, because I feel like this palette has so much potential, it just doesn't have all the shades that you could use for a beautiful palette in this palette. Like, I'm definitely going to use this palette, but I'm going to have to use it with another palette. That's what I'm saying, because the shimmery shades in here are very, very beautiful. Some of the mattes in here are very, very beautiful. Like, I don't have anything in my collection like Soul. I really don't have anything in my collection like Love or Passion. So I'm happy I picked up this palette. I really am. But like I said, if you're someone who just likes to use one palette for their looks, then I don't think this is a palette for you. Kind of think about like what you like in your palettes, and if you're just someone who strictly is, you know, like, I need to get like the most out of that palette, and if you do, then I don't think this is for you. If you like all warms, I don't think this is a palette for you. So yeah, just kind of think about it and then kind of make up your opinion based on the things that I mentioned and just things to consider. So yeah, that is everything that I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed at least one of the looks that I created with this look. And if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I really, really, really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe. I would also highly appreciate it. And I thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And hopefully I can see you on the next one.